Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Share, subscribe, like this video. I also want you to go to God's Gabby Girls on YouTube and subscribe to them. It's going to be two. I think that's going to be a really good channel. It's called God's Gabby Girls. And they sent me a thing through the email. It's going to be two doing the show, so it should be very interesting. And I thank you all for doing that. And I will get that link and put it in the community standard pages, just so you all have the link, because I haven't went to it yet. I've been so busy with everything else. But I appreciate everybody for being here. We're over 4,000 subscribers, which is just absolutely flat out amazing. Seemed like it took us forever to get to 3,000. But it seemed like all of a sudden, bam, we're over 4,000. We've gained 1,000 subscribers in probably 3 days, which is quite amazing. I don't know how that happened, but I thank Jesus for it. Just shows you we're probably right at the main end of all this, and we're getting ready to get out of here. So, with everything else happening, see, I did get the weeds cut, finally. With everything that's going on right now, I want to talk to you something. A very strange occurrence happened last night in Alaska, and there's not a lot of news about it. But something very strange happened last night in Alaska. And there's not a lot of news. But what happened last night, something struck Alaska. Now, this was not in a very populated place. But during this event, it left a 3.9 earthquake, but it wasn't an earthquake. Wasn't a meteor. Now, when the people called to get this information about, what had occurred. Because see, when USGS, anytime that they report an earthquake or anything, it's either a building fell, blast, nuclear test, or some meteor, whatever. They put that in the description. Well, they didn't give no description. So when they called to check on this event, what caused it, they said they couldn't tell them. Basically, it was top secret. Something happened last night in Alaska that wasn't supposed to happen. Now, I don't know if somebody tried to hit us with something and they shot it down, or they shot down a strategic bomber. I don't know, but there's no stories out on it, and I'm telling you, that's why I'm bringing it up, because it went right under the radar and nobody's talking about it. But the events that led up to it and afterwards are very, very strange. And we don't know exactly, and we probably will never hear what exactly happened. But we have that, and the big event that happened over Russia. 4 jets, 2 bombers, 2 fighter jets was actually shot down, not over Ukraine. These was shot down over Russia. This was another story that went right under the radar. The Russians hid it. Everybody did. Even Ukraine don't want no part of it. Now, they're saying the Patriot missile defense in Ukraine brought it down, but here's the thing. These missiles was fired on the side of Russia. So, another thing, flew right under the radar, very suspicious that this happened. Now, I don't know if you know, but a lot of you that are, do watch updates for other watchers, Britain did send them long-range missiles, which was supposed to be a no-no when it came down from the Kremlin. That they said when we start sending them long-range missiles that can touch Moscow, that they would do something. Well, that has already happened. They have sent those rockets, and they should have already been there by now. Now, this means that the offensive is getting ready to happen. And the reason I always bring this up is because I know everything that happens in World War III is centered in Ukraine. That's where it all starts, every bit of it. Now, a woman had a vision the other night. It was not a vision, it was a dream. And a very detailed dream. And this is another person that saw the colors of the Russian flag and the Chinese flag, which I know they play a huge part. But this other woman who had her dream 2 weeks ago, she saw a black plate. And in this black plate, there was a lightning bolt that went through the plate. And now, she didn't really know what it meant, but a lot of people don't realize that you could actually smuggle nukes in a plate truck and nobody would ever detect it. Plates and your different stuff for like your dining and stuff like that, your ceramic stuff, puts out radiation. It's always going to set off a nuclear any kind of nuclear sniffer or whatever. So I just thought that was interesting that she would have seen something like that. And really, she didn't really even know what the plate meant. But the first thing that popped in my mind about that black plate was the nuclear radiation coming off of it. And the lightning, which always means danger. So I thought that was interesting. And I thought I'd bring that up to you guys because it just stood out to me. Now, a lot of people are watching this week. This is Ascension Week. This is when Jesus, he came back down, was here 40 days, and he will ascend at the end of this week. I'm not sure. I think it's the 20th. That's Ascension Day. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure, but I think it's the 20th. Now, from what I've understood, somebody put in there earlier that God's never raptured anybody. Once they put that, I quit arguing with them. I'm like, okay, you've never read the Bible. Enoch was raptured on the 21st. It's funny that them were really back to back. I've always had a crazy theory. Now, stay with me. Now, this is not biblical. This is not coming from God. This is coming from Dum Dum Chris. But I've always had a theory that there's like a rapture window from Passover until the second Passover. And the reason why I come up with that, like I said, it's not biblical. This is all out of my dumb head. This is for me spending way too much time teaching, watching prophecy, learning it, and everything else. And it's all I do, people. That's all I do. Well, I'm a watcher. But I've always had a theory, because it's funny. Even Enoch, Jesus, same thing at this period is when the windows have opened to heaven. It's from Passover to second Passover. There's never no stories of anybody being raptured any other time, but in these two windows. So I thought, well, maybe that's just when the door of heaven is going to be open. That's the only time it can be open. I don't know if that's true or not. Like I said, that was just a theory of mine. I've run it by people. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I've always thought it was interesting that all the raptures and the ascensions into heaven have taken place from Passover to second Passover. No other time. I mean, I just thought that was kind of strange, and I thought I would bring that up to you guys. Now, I could be wrong, like I said, and it could be in Christmas for all I know, like I said. But there's never been those stories in the Bible. It's always been in this time period. That's why I think so many watchers are excited. But, the Lord's told me many times, the rapture is going to be different. We won't see it coming. I mean, we know we're in the season. We know it's coming. We're not going to be caught off guard. But when the rapture happens, it's going to be like, ping, and you're in heaven. I don't think you're going to have a chance. And like I told everybody, I'll probably be on the pot or on the riding lawnmower. Since it's summer, that's all I'm going to be doing is cutting grass. So it'll be very quick. You're not going to have I don't think you're going to have much time to think. It's in the twinkling of an eye. So you could be asleep, wake up in heaven, and not even know what happened. I mean, everybody's debated on the time and everything else. Like I said, I saw cloudy, storm, and it was maybe twilight, or it could have been daytime. It was just cloudy through the storm. But like I said, in my dreams, there's no sound before the rapture. It's like everything's just so quiet. That's why I think the EMP happens before, because there's just nothing running. There's just nothing. It's so quiet. I've never heard the world. The only time you can hear it that quiet here is maybe at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, because there's no noise whatsoever. But this was in daytime, and there was just no noise at all. And it stood out to me. And I've been trying to piece this together through all my dreams I've had. I know Bella said this morning when she got up, she had more dreams. And she knew that we was very close to whatever's getting ready to happen. And I feel it too. I feel like whatever's about to happen, this surprise attack on us, is about to happen. And I mean, God's been warning us it's coming. We've tried to tell everybody else. They don't want to listen, and they won't see it coming, because God's already told me they won't see it coming. When it happens, they'll be completely off guard. Now, us that are watching, and you that's coming here to this channel, you're going to know as soon as the lights go off what happened, because we've been discussing it here. That's the good thing about the channel. We are talking about these things, so you're not going to be shocked no matter where you're in the world. If you're in Australia and everything, and you're like, there's no power in America, you're going to go, oh, we know what that is. We know what's happened. We're getting ready for the rapture. automatically, if your power does go off and it don't come back on, first thing I want you to do is go outside and watch the sky. Now, if you see the clouds start to get dark and black, you pretty much know what's coming. Now, that's what we've all seen. Something happens, all electricity dies. It's gone. And no, this ain't no 3 days of darkness, people. If we get hit by an EMP, it's electronic magnetic pulse. We get hit by that, there's no power. It's not coming back on. Forget about the 3 days. It ain't never coming back on. It fries everything. So get that 3 days of darkness crap out of your head. That ain't gonna happen. We won't be here if it does happen. I'll tell you that much. I don't even give that thing a thought. But this is man-made. The 3 days of darkness that they're talking about is not man-made. It is something else completely. So this is man-made. It's not that. And when it does happen, it's going to scare the crap out of a lot of people. Like I tell you, do not fear. This is a great sign. When this happens, it means we're getting ready to leave. So you'll go outside, you'll see, if you see the dark clouds start to come in, you know the rapture is getting ready to happen. So really, we will know when it starts to take place, because we've all seen it. And it's not just me, it's been many people seen it. It's going to happen that way. So literally, power goes off, it don't come back on, starts getting really dark outside. Yeah, pretty much. You know that the rapture is getting ready to take place very soon after that. Could be hours, could be minutes. I mean, it could be happening right after. I don't know. But I do know it happens after. So keep an eye on that. That's why I want to keep bringing it up, because I think it's very important that we're not caught off guard when these things happen, because I do believe 100% this is going to happen. Too many people seen it for it not to happen. That's why I think it's going to happen. So we have to be ready. If so many people didn't see it, I would have probably said, you know what, we're just all dreaming it and whatever. But now it's just so many cases of it that I said, you know what, we've got to put this out here in case it does happen, and I do believe it's going to. When it does happen, you guys are going to be like, it's time to go home. Because everybody's going to be freaking out, except you. And they're going to think you're on crack. We're like, why in the world are you so happy? There's no power coming back on, because I know Jesus is coming. We've already been talking about this, because you're not going to be caught off guard. So that's important, that you'll be ready for it. So we'll talk about that. Anything else in the news, I thank everybody for sending me a lot of that information. Also, I've been getting emails all day. Thank you all for the news. I try to put these things simply in here to where we know exactly what's happening right now, so we're not caught off guard. As you heard this morning, there was a ceasefire, but you heard that go away in my first video as they launched 3 missiles against them. So forget about the ceasefire. That's no longer existing in Israel, because and another woman, it's on the ARC page. She's from Israel, and one just flew over her house about an hour ago. So there you go. There's no ceasefire. They wanted a ceasefire, but these people they're still shooting them over. So that's what's happening there. So we got to keep our eyes on that. A lot of stuff going on in Iran, but I'm telling you, the stuff in Russia and China is very quiet right now, and that worries me. Because, I mean, that could end up playing a big role in this. Like I said, do not fear. But I tell you, right now, China's very quiet. Very, very quiet. Now, if you haven't yet, go ahead and put your prayer request in the comments. Make sure you always do that. I don't want you guys forgetting about it. Put in there who you want us to pray for. We do that day and night, okay? And I thank you for keeping us updated. There's a lot of these people are coming around and getting saved, people. It's working, okay? Make sure that you tell everybody that Jesus is coming. We have put some shirts out. The global Rapture Watchers shirts we've got out. I don't think we've put them on YouTube. Well, I think if you go into the market, you go into shopping, you can go in there. You got to go through the things in YouTube. And you can go to the market and you will see the store link. They won't let you post the pictures on there. You just got to click on the link and it'll go straight to the store. There's different ones like Jesus Coming, stuff like that, so we can get those out and get them around the world where people knows what's happening. So that's something else we're doing. I think for all you all, for all your support with Buy Me Coffees and the super stickers, everything. You guys have been amazing. We've been able to do a lot of stuff with the channel and a lot of getting all this information around the world in different countries. You guys have helped do that, and I really appreciate it, because there's no way we could have done it before you guys. You guys, we never asked you for support, and boy, you all just did it, and we really appreciate it. I thank each and every one of you. Now, tomorrow is the 15th. Now, tomorrow's supposed to be a major day that I think tomorrow is, I'm not going to swear to it, but I think it's Israel's Independence Day. And tomorrow was a day that they was really worried about them being struck. So keep an eye on tomorrow of all the events that's happening around Israel tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. Because I won't be able to get on in the morning, because I got to go to work very early in the morning. So I probably won't be able to get one on early, as I've been doing for the last couple of days. So make sure that you're aware and watch Israel tomorrow, because tomorrow could be a very interesting day. This whole week's supposed to be interesting. So definitely keep your eyes peeled. And a lot of us, or like I said, we're sensing a lot of things happening, and it's like we just know. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. And a lot of you have just expressed that in the comments, that you're feeling it also. There's just something coming. We just all know it. I don't know what it is. Hopefully it's us leaving here. Thank Jesus, please come and get us out of here, please. We are done. We're ready to go home. And that's what I always pray for. And just think, now we're just another day closer. So don't worry. I want you to smile, rejoice, because our redemption it's very near. Okay? He's coming. And we're so close to getting out of here. And I can't wait to meet you all at the banquet dinner. All you got to do is think about me, and you will show up in front of me, or I'll show up in front of you. You'll probably have me teleported to you. Whatever, which way it goes, I don't care. I'll be glad to meet each and every one of you. It's been you guys from the beginning. This channel has just literally run by your all's faith in Jesus. And I'm telling you, thank you for the love that you give Jesus, because he loves you. And this, like I told everybody, they're like, well, they want to argue it and stuff like that. And I'm just not going to do it, because we have such limited time. And God said, when you start chanting, Chris, don't argue. And I still get sucked into it. But he's like, don't argue. He's like, listen. This is for my sheep. They'll know. They ain't going to argue with you. They're ready to go. That's the ones I'm going to send here. These other ones that come here, they don't want to go. So I've just got to picture them out and just pray for them. That's all I got to do. And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to pray for them, that God reaches them somehow. And if not, we pray for safe travels in the tribulation, because that's who they'll become, the tribulation saints. So that's what we do. So I want to say I love you guys, and if you don't know Jesus, if you're out there, you're listening to this, he brought you here for a reason, because this world is getting ready to come to an end. It's ready to get really bad down here. Now the church is getting ready to leave. The church is called the bride. We are not the Jews. We did not replace the Jews. The bride is about to get taken out. Right now, it's faith in Jesus, people. The grace period. You got to believe in Jesus. Believe in the blood of Jesus Christ. All about the blood. All about the blood. His blood, he sacrificed for you. So you could be in heaven forever. But your time is running out. So call upon Jesus, believe in him, turn away from your ways, and get on the boat and never come off of it, because we're that close. It's going to part that sky anytime. I might not ever do another video. This might be my last. That's how close we are. So have yourselves ready, okay? I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here every day, listening to a hillbilly up a holler, letting you know that Jesus is one day closer. And like I said, I wouldn't be doing it if he didn't tell me to do it. That's why I'm here. He loves you, and that's why I'm doing this. He's coming. Have yourselves ready. Until next time, if you don't see me again, I'll see you in heaven.